Today is the day I marry Liam. Everyone says we are so happy to have come from our student days to now, and that I seem like a different person. But when he hugged me from behind after drinking too much that night, I didn't feel warm at all. I feel like a fish raised in a fishbowl, forever unable to reach the ocean. All around me is glaring red. I silently sit by the bed, and the noise outside seems unrelated to me. Emma, I miss you so much. Liam, smelling of alcohol, with a flushed face, wobbles toward me, but he couldn't steady himself and fell onto the bed, fast asleep. I changed him into clean clothes and wiped his delicate face. This is the last bit of tenderness I can give him. The moonlight softly shines in, slipping into the warm blankets. He mumbles nonsensical words and reaches out to pull me into his arms. If others saw the scene, they would definitely think it was very sweet. But at this moment, I just want to quickly break free from his arms and get far away from him, because my Liam will forever be stuck at 18. I didn't meet Liam in this city. At that time, I was still in my senior year of high school. My mom was running a store and making money to support my education. Recently, I heard that a transfer student joined our class. He has fair skin and a sunny personality, and he returned from New York. The girls in class were particularly interested in him because he seemed completely out of place here. He always liked to share fresh and interesting stories with his classmates, quietly winning the affection of many girls. By coincidence, I became his desk mate. To my surprise, he was especially nice to me and took care of me in every way. When we took the class photo for graduation, he silently stood behind me. Emma, sit up straight and lean towards me a bit. With a click of the camera, it captured a rare photo of him and me together. Not long after graduation, he confessed his feelings to me. That bright and warm boy, like the sun, quietly settled into my heart. My mom disagreed, but I insisted on going to his city with him. Even though I didn't know anyone there, I felt particularly secure with him by my side. Who would have thought that by the time the roses bloom, the one who planted them has long lost interest in caring for them. I feel like a white rose carefully tended to by him, living in the beautiful dream he weaves for me. The fate of a rose is either to be preserved as a specimen or to slowly wither in shallow water. Whether we get married or not seems to make no difference. Every day, I still insist on frying him 2 eggs, paired with freshly toasted bread, and putting them in the thermos. He always rushes to the company without having breakfast, and his meal times are irregular, causing him quite a few health issues. Emma, I'm leaving first. There are still many things to handle at the company. Liam says goodbye to me as usual. He always does this, coming and going quickly, as if he has endless work to do. He manages everything at home in an orderly manner, so I don't have to worry and I'm too lazy to ask. I prepared a full table of dishes and brewed his favorite tea, which I got from my mom. I wait for him to come back with an empty stomach, thinking that as soon as he walks in, he can eat hot food, wanting to see his happy smile and hoping he will joyfully spin me around. I waited and waited until my eyes could barely stay open, and finally heard a soft sound at the door. Emma, why aren't you going back to sleep? You don't have to wait for me to get off work every time. He walked over gently and picked me up from the sofa. The dishes on the table had already cooled down, quietly arranged on the table. I leaned against him, but caught a whiff of a pungent perfume on his coat. That scent is one I dislike the most. The music was blaring loudly, completely drowning out other sounds. I rubbed my nose, wanting to ask something, but the words got stuck in my throat. Everyone acted as if nothing had happened. The next day, Liam suddenly asked me to go to a party with him. Liam never lets me appear in public, not even to say a simple hello. I tried to persuade him to let me accompany him to some small events, to help share the burden. He always shook his head and said, Emma, I don't want the media to disturb you. I just want to protect you. Just live your life well. Indeed, celebrities on TV, even just going out shopping or visiting friends, are always snapped by paparazzi, and once the photos are online, they get discussed by others. I can hardly imagine how strong they must be to withstand such pressure. Thanks to him, I've slowly become less insecure. He helped me out of my predicament and showed me the beauty of life. This time, he probably thinks I can move forward alongside him. I accepted his invitation. At the party, he introduced me to quite a few prominent people. He chatted and laughed with others while I could only awkwardly smile on the side. Later, a few bosses said they were going to eat nearby, and he invited me along. Halfway through the drinks, he seemed a bit drunk. I quickly apologized for him and drank a few glasses for him. The bosses praised my loyalty, saying Liam is really lucky. For some reason, I suddenly felt very dizzy. This was my second time drinking. The first time I drank was at graduation when Liam poured me a little less than half a glass. When I opened my eyes again, it was almost dawn. I found myself lying in my bed at home. The blanket next to me had sunk down a bit, clearly indicating he had lain there recently. I know he still can't forget that woman in the private album. The phone suddenly rang, and Liam's mom sent a text asking me and Liam to come home for dinner. I thought for a long time but finally opened the chat window with Liam. I sent a message to Liam saying Mom wants us to come back for dinner. He quickly replied, okay. Just one word, cold and indifferent. I hurriedly got up, staring at my pale face in the mirror from drinking too much last night, feeling anxious. I put on light makeup, wore some light-colored clothes, and rushed to hail a cab. I carefully picked out some fruits downstairs, including some that Liam's mom likes. The one who opened the door was the nanny, Mary. Emma is here. Come in and sit. We've been waiting for you. Liam's mom warmly welcomed me inside and took the heavy items from my hands. I glanced around the room while changing my shoes. Usually, when Liam saw me come back, he would be the first to run over to greet me. Now, Liam, stop chatting with Sophia and come help me with the things. I suddenly remembered the name of his private album, which only had the letter S. When chatting with Liam's mom, she often mentions Sophia and Liam. The two families often collaborate in business, and the two kids have been playmates since they were little. But in their senior year, Sophia went abroad to study, and we don't know when she will come back. Liam's family business encountered some problems, so he transferred to our school during senior year, and that's how we met. Emma, why didn't you tell me when you got downstairs? I should have come down to pick you up. Liam walked over and said softly, the stuff isn't heavy. I didn't want to interrupt your conversation. He smiled awkwardly and said, don't say that. Let me introduce. This is Sophia, my friend since childhood, just back from abroad. Hello, I'm Sophia. Liam often talks about you, and seeing you today, you are indeed as beautiful as he said. She reached out her fair hand to me. I gently shook it. Her hand was white and tender, clearly a young lady from a wealthy family. A familiar fragrance suddenly wafted in front of me. I instinctively clenched my fist. She slowly overlapped with the person I had in mind. She forced a smile, her eyes constantly darting around me. Our relationship has come this far from school. How can we let her interfere? I'm not willing to accept it. After dinner, Sophia pulled Liam and kept asking him all sorts of questions. She said, Liam, how has your family been these past few years? Has nothing happened? I remember last time you said your family business was in trouble, and you had to go study in a remote place for a year. I really felt sorry for you. If I hadn't been abroad at that time, I would have definitely talked to you and your mom properly. That's not the case. Wasn't that when I ran into Emma? I quietly followed behind them, not saying a word, feeling completely like an outsider. Emma, what are you thinking? Sophia seemed to notice my fixed gaze and walked over to me. She dragged me quickly to a pink beetle, took a beautifully packaged bag of clothes out of the trunk. Sister-in-law, I'm sorry. The clothes seem to be too small. In my hurry, I forgot to ask Liam for your size. Let me have headquarters send you a suitable one. She held the clothes up against me, showing a disappointed expression. This watch definitely suits Liam. I took a long time to choose it. Emma, does it look good? She turned and shouted for Liam, pulling his hand to put the watch on him directly. Emma, do you want to go home first? A new mall just opened in the city center. I'm taking Sophia to look around and help her adjust to the local environment. Liam. I suddenly called his full name. Emma, what's wrong? Come back early. He got into Sophia's car. As the car lights went out, the street lights also dimmed. It's really cold. I breathed warm air into my hands and took out Liam's car keys from my bag. Is Sophia really just a childhood playmate of his? I don't know, and I can't ask for the truth. He came back early and brought me some fried rice from a street vendor. Liam, why is there green onion in this fried rice? You don't eat green onions? I momentarily forgot to tell the owner. It seems I really never mentioned that I don't like green onions. In our senior year, after every evening self-study session, he would buy 2 servings of fried rice, always topped with green onions. The classroom was especially cold, making my hands turn red, and the characters I wrote were all crooked. Every time I finished organizing my backpack, I could see him rush out of the school gate, hurriedly run back to the classroom, and hand me a box of takeout fried rice. The large box of rice felt warm in my hands. In such difficult study conditions, a bowl of warm fried rice is something I still remember to this day. The room fell quiet again. Behind me, I could hear Liam's slow and steady breathing. He was never very still when he slept, like a child. I looked at the hand with prominent veins wrapped around my waist, gently freed myself from his embrace, and placed his hand back under the covers, resting it on his chest. He would never betray me. Between her and me, Liam would definitely lean more towards her. As soon as Sophia returned, the calm days I had with Liam were like a disturbed surface of water, creating ripples that made me feel uneasy. I couldn't control my overthinking. My mind was a mess. Occasionally, I scroll through the moments Liam posts. Thanks to Sophia for treating me to cheese grape milk tea. All my worries disappeared today. Sophia. I keep going through the photos he posted. In the photo, he's wearing a tie, smiling, and holding a half-finished milk tea. The first time I saw him, I was touched by that radiant smile. He always says I have a bit of a hunch. Every time I take a photo with him, I want to hide, afraid I'll look out of place in the picture. But he always quietly stands next to me. Emma, sit up straight. Smile. He gives me orders in a commanding tone like an officer, which makes me feel both amused and helpless. He walks behind me and puts his hand on my shoulder. With him standing behind me, I slowly stop feeling inferior about my family background. Not long after, I brought him to my home. My family runs a store selling various seasonings and spices. Only my mom is busy in the store. She has to support me and several younger brothers. Mom is busy from morning till night every day, doing the purchasing, transporting, and selling all by herself. I took out the flour cakes that Mom made by hand from my bag and enthusiastically handed them to him. As he ate, he praised my mom's cooking skills, enjoying it immensely. I hesitated for a moment but still liked his post on Moments. Sophia commented from behind, "Today's brother is so cute, just looking at you makes me happy." I didn't like it just to seek attention, I simply wanted to commemorate the lost youth in this way. Liam came home on time today and even brought my favorite roast duck. The hot pot on the table was bubbling, and the steam blurred his silver-framed glasses. "Emma, you go rest over there, I'll handle the rest." I obediently walked out of the kitchen and sat on the sofa, watching him busily moving around the house. We haven't had a meal together like this in a long time. It seems his work has taken up all his time, leaving no gaps at all. Liam, wearing an apron, slowly picked up the dishes from the table. He picked up a piece of roasted duck and said to Emma, "After I finish this busy period, let's go visit your mom next month? Didn't you always say you wanted to go back to see her?" His words suddenly caught me off guard. I quickly spat out the food I hadn't chewed into the trash can. All right. Sounds good. I really can't figure out what he's thinking. The dining table fell silent again. I never expected that this visit home would make me feel this uncomfortable. I arrived at the airport before Liam. I looked at my phone. There was only half an hour left until boarding. Just when I was getting anxious, I suddenly spotted him in the swaying crowd. He was tall, so he was easy to recognize. Found him. I hurriedly waved in Liam's direction. It was then that I noticed he was holding a girl's hand and standing there. My smile instantly disappeared, as if it had been crushed by the crowd. "Sister-in-law, it's nice to see you again. I heard that my brother is going to stay with you for a few days, and since I have nothing to do, I thought I'd join you guys for some fun." "Brother, you wouldn't want to leave me alone at home, right?" Sophia's words left me momentarily speechless. "Emma, let's bring her along. She has no friends back home, it's quite pitiful." But Liam said, "One less doesn't matter, one more doesn't make a difference." Hearing that, I was so angry my forehead was throbbing, I felt awful. "Oh, Emma, what are you doing?" I poured the hot water I had just poured out directly onto her. The water dripped down from her hair, falling onto the ground. Her expression was twisted, and her face looked extremely bad. "You two brothers go ahead. Do you really think I don't know?" She quickly took out a tissue and kept wiping her hair. Liam took the bags from Emma's hands. "Emma, what are you doing? Don't act like this with so many people at the airport. Can't we talk nicely? How do I usually teach you to be polite?" I smiled at him and turned to be the first to board the plane. As soon as I got off the plane, I separated from those two. He kept calling me in the bustling airport, Emma, 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 where are you going? Unfortunately, the wind is too strong, I can't hear clearly. After getting out of the taxi, I headed straight to my mom's house. On the way, the familiar street scenes gradually made me feel more at ease. Mom was still sitting in the back room, wrapping the freshly made flour cakes. As I closed the door, the noise from outside was suddenly blocked out, and I felt relaxed again. I didn't mention what happened at Liam's house, I just kept saying it was pretty good. Before long, there was a sudden urgent knocking at the door, accompanied by a rough male voice calling out. "Who is knocking at the door?" Mom asked. "Emma, I'll go take a look." I quickly pressed down on Mom, urging her to sit in the chair. "Mom, you might not be aware, but there are a lot of scammers outside now. Sometimes, just making up a random excuse, like delivering a basket of eggs, can trick you out of your money. Be careful when you encounter such situations in the future. Let me deal with them. If you don't leave, I'm calling the police. Don't blame me for reporting you for disturbing the peace." The noise outside gradually faded away, and the surroundings became quiet again. My mom held my hand and said, "Emma is the smartest." Another burst of happy laughter came from inside the house. I had stayed in the cage that Liam built for me for so long that I almost forgot what the outside world was like. After living with my mom for a few days, I went home. Some things are best discussed face to face with Liam. After getting off the plane, I took a taxi straight home. As soon as I walked up the stairs and took out my keys to open the door, I found that it wasn't locked. Liam was sitting on the sofa, and the table in front of him was a mess. He was holding an empty beer bottle. "You're back. Why didn't you stay with Sophia a few more days? Is it because I affected your mood? I'm really sorry about that," I replied to him. He was so angry that his face turned red, pointing at me and shouting, "Emma, you're getting bold now, huh? Sophia rarely comes back to the country, and she'll be leaving in a few days. Do you really have to do this? Look at how you are now. Are you drinking so much because of me or because of her?" He didn't say a word. I rushed over and kicked him hard in the stomach. He curled up in pain, lost his balance, and fell directly to the ground. Things on the table fell everywhere, and I don't know where his glasses ended up. Maybe it was the alcohol, plus my kick, that made him lie still on the ground, mumbling nonsense. Where has my Liam gone? He used to wear silver glasses, quietly sitting there working like a well-behaved puppy. When he saw me sleeping beside him, he would gently cover me with a blanket and carry me back to the room. No matter how busy he was, he would set aside a day each week to go shopping with me and take me out for a walk. He wouldn't let me do anything, but I was content just having him by my side. But now, since you treat me this way, I won't hold back either. The day before Sophia left, she arranged to meet me at a cafe near my home. Not only do I have to go, but I also need to tidy up before I head out. The cafe isn't big, but there are quite a few people. Sophia sat across from me, slowly sipping her freshly served hot latte. "Emma, you don't really think Liam is truly sincere about you, do you? It's a pity that such a good girl like you has been kept in the dark." I stared at her intently. "Your lipstick is on your teeth. Why say that all of a sudden?" She quickly took out a tissue from her bag and started to wipe her mouth in front of the mirror. "If you like it, just take it. Useless things should be with those who are willing to keep them." She suddenly stood up, about to reach out, but I grabbed her hand. "What's wrong? Do you still want to hit someone in front of everyone?" She shot me a fierce glare and reluctantly pulled back her hand. It seems she does care about her reputation. Whether it's her or Liam, I always feel like I can't compare to them. I have no family background and no money. So what if that's the case? Should I just obediently accept Liam's control? I don't understand what's wrong with my relationship with Liam. Maybe I'm just too naive, thinking that Cinderella's fairy tale would come true for me, without seeing Liam's true intentions. He just likes to cultivate a plaything according to his own preferences. It's like watching a rose become more and more exquisite, only for it to become a sacrifice for someone else's love when it fully blooms, ultimately thrown into an unnoticed corner. Do you think Liam would be willing to go abroad with me? Emma, you can't naively believe that just because you and Liam go from campus to marriage, you'll be happy forever, right? Some people always want to reach the top in one step, but they should also see if they have the ability to do so. Sophia looked at me, her lips curling slightly into a barely noticeable smile. "All right, I need to learn from you, a true expert, how to attract people, don't let me down. I didn't look back and left the cafe directly. By the way, you still haven't paid for that cup of coffee. On my way home, I saw Liam sitting on the sofa, holding a laptop. Hearing me come in, he hurriedly closed the laptop and stuffed it into his bag. Emma, why are you so late coming back? Where have you been? His tone was as if the incident from a few days ago when he got drunk had never happened. This soft, feigned concern made me feel uncomfortable all over, almost nauseating. Even at this point, he still pretended to care. Sure, anyone can put on a show. Liam pulled me to the dining table and served me a bowl of rib soup. Emma, Sophia is leaving in a few days, and since the company has business, I plan to go on a business trip with her so we can take care of each other on the way. I'll leave things with Mom to you. Liam's mom is urging us, always looking forward to holding her grandchild soon. Recently, she keeps calling me and Liam, saying his mom keeps insisting we spend more time together and not to worry about work, as someone will handle it. Liam probably didn't expect that marrying me was just to deal with his mom. Who knew his mom was so eager for a grandchild, and now it's me who's holding him back. Do we really have to go? I'll be back soon. I'm counting on you with Mom. When I come back, I'll take you to see the aurora. Emma is the best. Okay. Isn't it just putting on a facade? What's so hard about that? Hello? Mom, Liam has gone abroad again. I originally planned to give you a grandchild this year, and I've been preparing to have a baby. I discussed it with him, and without saying a word, he just left. I couldn't stop him no matter what. Liam's mom was really angry when she heard that and said she would help discipline him properly. She froze Liam's bank card. Liam had no choice but to angrily go home with his luggage. Emma, what do you mean by this? Was it intentional? He was running around the living room like a monkey being teased in a circus. Liam, I might be pregnant. He suddenly froze, his eyes wide open, completely stunned. How could this happen? Are you still going abroad? He quickly shook his head, probably calculating in his mind that he had just met another performance target and was secretly pleased. I handed him a fake ultrasound report. He looked so happy, as if he had already thought of the child's name. Then, they sent me to a specialized postpartum care center. Don't worry, this is just the beginning of the excitement. Liam rarely visited me and just hired a confinement nanny to take care of my daily needs. Maybe he thinks I'm useless after giving birth. Perhaps after the baby is born, he will kick me out. This is my fate. Looking back, all those sweet words we said at the beginning were just lies. I asked Liam's mother for a few sets of houses and some things, and she readily agreed, fearing that I might be in a bad mood. Later, I took advantage of the nanny's inattention and pretended to accidentally fall. I held my stomach and acted like I was in great pain. Just like that, the child in my belly was gone. Liam's mother angrily questioned him about why he didn't take better care of me. Liam covered his burning face and said nothing. What could he say? Without me, he completely let go. Liam kept comforting his mother and then turned to glare at me fiercely. I smiled brightly at him. Haha. You caught me. Liam knew that I wasn't following his plan anymore. He wanted me to go back to my hometown, saying it was to help me relax and recuperate. I agreed readily. I felt that what I had been waiting for was about to happen. Right before going back to my hometown, he suddenly said he wanted a divorce. Of course, I wouldn't refuse. After finishing the divorce procedures at the Civil Affairs Bureau, I felt completely relieved. He got into the car without looking back, leaving me standing alone in the cold wind. Before going home, I sold several properties under my name as a gift to myself before leaving. Not long after returning to my hometown, I saw a trending news notification on my phone. Liam, the head of the Liam family group, is remarrying. The photo showed him and Sophia kissing in a church abroad. He and Sophia really are together. The comment section is filled with words of blessing. Some people insist on pairing us up, while others compare me to Sophia, along with various gossip links about him. I tossed my phone aside. This kind of junk is only something she could cherish. Emma, come eat the chicken soup rice noodles I just made. Eat it while it's hot. After eating, help Uncle John's son Jake pick some roses. The flour cakes at the shop are selling really well. After finishing the rice noodles, I felt warm all over. Jake and I picked some roses and made a lot of flour cakes to give to our neighbors. Before long, we even opened a guest house together where guests could experience flower picking. It's been a long time since I've lived a mundane life. I didn't expect to see Liam again. That day, a strange man came into the store, wearing a mask and sunglasses, not asking questions or staying overnight, just looking around. I saw the situation and let the hired girl leave first. "Sir, is there anything I can help you with?" As soon as he saw me, he quickly grabbed my hand. "Emma, it's me, Liam." His lenses were foggy, and his hair was messy, as if he hadn't washed it in a long time. He looked particularly unwell. "Emma, our family business has encountered some difficulties recently and owes some debts. Can you lend me some money? I promise to pay you back once the funds come through." "I don't have any money. Please leave and don't delay my business." The people nearby were eating and occasionally glancing over at me. He gulped down the water on the table. "Emma, I really only need 500,000. I was wrong before. Can I kneel down and apologize to you? Just help me this one time." Seeing his pitiful pleading expression, I felt a bit reluctant, but that thought was quickly suppressed. "Sir, please mind your words and actions. If you continue to act recklessly, I will call the police." He thudded to the ground, kneeling. "Emma, I'm sorry. I really deserve this." I took money from the cash register, specifically choosing those with stains. I tossed the bills towards the door, and the money scattered before him like snowflakes. He remained silent, rummaging around like a dog waiting for its owner to feed it. Now he is just like I used to be, running over immediately at a beckon. My Liam will forever remain at 18. Since then, I haven't heard the name Liam again. He suddenly appeared in my world at 18, only to quietly leave in the end. Only then did I realize that some people can pretend to be deeply affectionate. I was really foolish. I fell for him at just a casual wave. Perhaps he didn't expect me to do that either. Young love is simple, but it can't withstand turmoil. As time goes on, people's hearts change, even the truest feelings can't endure. The shot Liam fired at me ultimately hit his own forehead. After his family went bankrupt, Sophia left him. The once glorious Liam family has collapsed in an instant, leaving everyone around them sighing in disbelief. Some might say my approach is similar to Sophia's, but I have to admit, sometimes dealing with bad people using bad methods is quicker than taking the righteous path. I've fallen for Jake. He's a completely different person from Liam. He's not as skilled in business as Liam, nor does he have such impressive abilities. He can't provide me with a life of wealth and luxury, nor can he arrange everything meticulously. I often wonder why he isn't annoyed by me. Am I really worth his affection, being someone with a history of scheming to escape? He proves through his actions that I am worth it. His back is slightly bent from years of hard work. He's very capable, managing everything inside and outside the guest house in an orderly manner. For every important matter in the shop, he always discusses it with me. The white roses in the shop are blooming more beautifully, and business is thriving day by day. Customers often jokingly tell me that with such a reliable person, I might as well marry him. I turn to see him bustling around, and my heart feels warm. He can give me so much, but I don't have much to give him in return. But I couldn't resist his repeated pleas, and I eventually softened my heart. Life only happens once, and if it doesn't work out, we can always start over. On the day of the wedding, many guests arrived. I sent an invitation to Liam, and to my surprise, he really came. Let him see for himself just how happy I am. After the host's opening, Jake walked in. He was wearing a sharp suit today, and his hair was neatly styled. I had never seen him with this hairstyle before. When it was my turn to appear, all the lights went out in the venue. Only a soft beam of light remained, gently shining on me. With each step I took, a light illuminated the ground beneath my feet. I took the microphone handed to me by the host and held it tightly in my hand. I have always believed in love at first sight, and I still do. Regardless of wealth or health, all I want is someone by my side. I gently patted Jake's back beside me. He held back his tears and straightened up to walk towards me. The audience erupted in applause. I saw my mother in the audience with tears streaming down her face, and Uncle John was quietly wiping his eyes, turning his face away. In the corner, someone quietly left. He darted into the shadows like a mouse startled by a light. Perhaps he once liked me. This love is filled with too many distractions and is full of cracks. Like a dam on the verge of collapse, if the rain continues to fall harder and longer, the flood will surge everywhere. Liam, did you see that? The Emma who once relied on you and hid under your protection is no longer here. The fog is thick. Only by passing through it can one see the moon in the sky. Later, no one mentioned the name Liam anymore. Whether on trending lists or in entertainment gossip, there was no news about her. One day, many years later, I met Sophia. She had completely changed, no longer the spoiled and sharp-toned girl from before. She had become more composed and calm. We casually found a shop by the roadside and sat down to chat. She told me that 5 years after marrying Liam, his family's company went bankrupt. Liam had to hide and run, borrowing money from everywhere to pay off debts. He's the one who came to borrow money from me that year. Since then, I haven't heard from him again. Perhaps he's barely surviving in some corner. Sophia apologized for getting involved between Liam and me back then. I said that even without her interference, Liam and I probably wouldn't have lasted long. Human nature is hard to change. Sophia and I have gone through similar experiences. What's the point of harboring hostility toward her now? Time will dilute everything, taking some things away like the tide, while leaving others on the shore. I returned home and opened the dusty drawer. Inside are all the memories of my time with Liam. The teacher said something to you today. You're not unhappy, are you? Let's go eat barbecue together after school. The beef tripe from that place is especially delicious. It's really pouring today. Emma, I lent my umbrella to someone else. Can I stay at your place for a bit to avoid the rain? I'll leave when the rain calms down a bit. Emma, the graduation photos are about to be taken. Can I stand behind you? Emma, I've warned those boys in class who always tease you. They actually said you're an old lady. They really don't know how to judge people. But Emma, you really need to pay attention to your posture. You are still young. I'm going through these letters one by one. Emma, what are you doing in the room? I'm quickly tidying up the messy desk. Then I took out a lighter and set all of this on fire until it turned to ash. Jake, let's go to the flower shop and buy some roses. The house is too plain. While walking down the street, Jake suddenly said to me, Emma, haven't you always wanted to take a yoga class? There's an event today, and I've already signed you up. I gently patted his head. You're the smart one. He gave me a silly smile. She looks quite cute when she smiles. When we returned to the store, we happened to run into a blogger visiting. Seeing Jake and me walking hand in hand, she quickly put down her camera and excitedly said, I'm so lucky. Passing by here today, the roses outside the yard immediately caught my attention. Can I come in and take a few photos? I also want to try making some floral cakes to take back. I nodded in agreement and couldn't help but laugh. After finishing the store's arrangement, she suddenly had an idea. Boss, can I take a picture of you two alone? Right in front of the store, it will be quick. I pulled Jake to stand on the steps in front of the store. Why are you hunching your back like me? Quick, straighten your back. Step a little closer. After taking the photo, the little girl developed it and gave us one. Before leaving, I took a pot of red roses from the store to give to her. Thank you for promoting our store. This pot of roses is for you. Watching her leave happily, I felt as if my shadow was gradually overlapping with hers. May she have a passionate love and a deeply engraved promise. And may I have the same. Roses will always wither and fade, but her romance will never lose its luster. May every girl be like a star, and every boy like the moon, illuminating each other every night. No matter when, always hold your head high and walk through the river of love.